there's outrage. This is where we are, okay? Outrage over the White House's $300 million ballroom. And don't forget about the donors. Photos of the demolished East Wing of the White House have circulated this week during a time of a non functioning government. I already told you about military families standing in food lines. Americans are becoming more and more frustrated now. Watch this.
You can't afford a 600 square foot, one bedroom apartment in New York, but it's okay because the president who was supposed to fix that for you is currently building a 90,000 square foot, $250 million ballroom for him and his millionaire friends. And poor people can't have healthcare anymore, but you shouldn't blame the $250 million ballroom that he's building. You should totally blame the immigrants who are working their asses off for $8 an hour. And you can't afford groceries, and you can't afford rent, and you can't afford to buy a new car.
Did y'all know that while American citizens are on day 21 of not having a functioning federal government, you understand, federal employees have already been laid off. People have not gotten paid this entire month. Some federal employees are missing upwards to 40% of their check. You understand? People are trying to figure out what they're going to do for the holidays. You have people literally having conversations about, you know what? Let's just all collectively decide that the holidays are not a thing.
Google, Lockheed Martin, Microsoft, Palantir, and many, many more. It also includes Ripple, T-Mobile, and other companies. Now we're getting onto the list of certain individuals. You have all these different names, including the Lutnick family. Remember, Howard Lutnick is currently serving as Donald Trump's commerce secretary. They also happen to live on the same block as Epstein in New York City.
He said the ballroom wouldn't even touch the White House. No, but all the presidents have done it. Like Obama built a basketball court. Obama recycled an existing tennis court. He painted some lines and added a hoop, and this still was like national freak out.
Y'all leave Obama out of this, okay? He's got nothing to do with this monstrosity that Donald Trump is involved in. We will tell you the White House has now released a donor list. Here's what we know about the donors funding the White House ballroom. President Donald Trump again reiterated in the Oval Office on Wednesday afternoon the ballroom is being paid 100% by me, meaning he's not paid one dime. He's not going to even give cost of a stick of bubble gum. It's not happening. By me and some friends of mine, referencing donors. Government is paying absolutely nothing. Oh, we're paying a price, all right. Trump also appeared to increase the cost estimate by 50 to 100 million, telling reporters during his remarks on Wednesday the price tag for the new venue was about 300 million, more than the 2 to 250 million estimates previously given. Apple, Amazon, Lockheed Martin, Microsoft, Google, Coinbase, Comcast, Meta, just some of the major companies who have made donations to build President Donald Trump's proposed 90,000 square foot ballroom, according to the White House. His ballroom, his dream. Do you know why you need a 90,000 square foot ballroom? It is necessary. It's absolutely necessary to have it in the White House when the White House and access are for sale. I mean, you could say it's always been for sale, donors, inaugurations, whatever. But the only thing holding the money back is we get that more space. Let them come. We'll sell out a huge stadium that happens to be in the people's house. Additional donors include co-founders of cryptocurrency exchange, Gemini, Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss. Those twins get on my nerves every time they're in the news. They're twins, right? The ones that went to Harvard. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and his family. The Adelson family. Trump awarded Miriam Adelson, a Republican mega donor, Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2018. Wasn't he just shouting her out when he was over visiting with Netanyahu in wake of this incredible peace deal that was immediately breached? I guess it's still ongoing. Demolition marked a reversal of Trump's earlier promise in July that none of the White House's existing infrastructure would be torn down during construction of the ballroom. Trump went ahead, despite not first sending plans to the National Capital Planning Commission, federal agency that oversees construction and renovations to government buildings across the region. On Thursday, a White House official told Reuters that construction plans will be soon submitted. After you took a wrecking ball, you already started tearing it down. Usually the way it works is you put in your papers, There's a bureaucracy and delay, and then you have to change things and go back and forth, back and forth. You just gonna go ahead and tear it down first. White House, which was built from 1792 to 1800 by slaves, or the blacks, as Trump likes to say, is owned by the American people, overseen by the National Park Service. The East Wing, originally known as the East Terrace, was built in 1902 and significantly expanded in 1942. It's a disgrace. I almost am tired, though, Waz, of talking about this bull in this guy who brings chaos, destruction, theft, metaphorically speaking. Don't sue me. It's just all Congress has to do is act. Even the American people are teeing it up. 7 million people at the Snow Kings rally saying, "You're not about to do this to us." But here we are. I heard what was a Dippy report? I won't call the person who delivered it Dippy, but the tease went something like this. When we come back, is the White House for sale? And I screamed at the television. Okay. And I like her too. She Helms, she didn't write it, I'm sure, but she still said it. What are you talking about? Of course it is. You want to argue about how much? Okay. Weigh in here because Donald Trump is going to Trump, okay, all day, every day, and ain't nobody going to check him.
I mean, you said many of the points that I would echo. The White House doesn't belong to Donald Trump. I think this is just him. One, I think it will have a functional purpose of housing, dignitaries and foreign leaders and foreign business people or American business people who want to come and offer bribes for favors from the American government. Like, it definitely serves that purpose, but I think, he definitely wants to leave a lasting imprint at the White House. So for generations, people be like, "Oh, this is the thing that Donald Trump made while he was president." But mainly, I just want to address the notion that this didn't cost the American taxpayer anything. Is just patently ridiculous. When he's over in Israel touting his peace deal, and he's like, Shelley Adelson and his wife, Miriam Adelson, gave me a lot of money.
Yep.
That's why I've taken the posture that I have with Israel. And what does that mean for the American taxpayer? Think about how much money we spent in quote unquote military aid in order to buy them weapons from the likes of Lockheed Martin and the rest of the military industrial complex, right? Like, that costs tens of billions of dollars for Israel to prosecute their genocide. Like, that costs the American taxpayer, okay? Like, this idea that we're not going to make decisions in terms of funding stuff and different initiatives that we might take that will benefit the people on that donor list is just crazy. Like, you just don't know how these people operate. It's obvious. Like, he's just telling you, like, Miriam Adelson gave me a lot of money. That's why I've taken this type of posture with Israel. I've been the best Israel president ever. Miriam Adelson gave me a lot of money. Like, he's saying it in the same sentence.
This is quite childlike. It may be our only saving grace that he does say, he shouts the quiet part out loud. Because he's like a toddler who wants to graduate from training pants, okay? Who screams out every time, "Look, mommy, I pee-pee in the potty. I pee-pee in the potty." He has to announce it, stating the obvious. We saw you. We'll give you a snack, a treat, something sweet for your trouble. This is what's going on. And it's up to us whether we want to allow it or not. And I would say that it's time, easier said than done as I pontificate from my home studio. It's just time for us to turn our attention and punish anyone and everyone who will not stand up to this bully. If you're in Congress and you are not standing up, then you get your chance, right? When are the midterms? It's time to just take over, okay, to get rid of this dictator. who's taken over and costing us, you're right, day by day. You're mad about a Ronald Reagan voice. They didn't alter the voice, they didn't alter what he said about tariffs, and now you're not speaking to Canada. You don't think that hurts us? You're not speaking to Canada. You suspended all talks over tariffs because in an old Ronald Reagan speech, some Canadian province used it to talk about how tariffs harm. Boy, you thin skin. That's what happens when you've been raised with privilege and never been checked your entire life. I don't want to hear about military school. Oh, somebody's dad or mom, somebody's dad in military school. You never been checked. There were the bone spurs that got you out of that thing. Okay. You've never been checked, never said sorry to the Central Park Five. None of it. Never been checked or brought to bear for the things that you've done.